Right, guys. Liverpool have just beaten West Ham by a goal to nil, and I mean it was far from Liverpool's best performance. To be honest, first half was quite good, but second half Liverpool made it far too um, nerve wracking for the fans to watch. Put it that way. Um, the first half, Trent Alexander-Arnold was absolutely awesome. Just 10 out of 10 performance first half. He created Sadio Mane's goal with it was sort of like a cross shot, and Mane got on the end of it, tapping. It was close whether he was offside or onside, but he was just onside by millimetres. And yeah, good. Well, I say good goal, but it wasn't really. But yeah, that made it 1-0 and turned out to be the winner in the end. But they're in the space of like a minute of each other. There was a goal line scramble in both goals. The first coming from Liverpool in the attack. I can't remember what happened, but Trent Alexander-Arnold played a cross goal. Luis Diaz failed to put it in the back of the net. Aaron Cresswell managed to flick it away from the goal line. Trent put it back across. Luis Diaz tried to flick it in, completely missed the ball. It hit Salah and went away from the goal. And then straight up the other end, and Jarrod Bones threw on goal and flicked it over at Alisson. Trent had to clear it off the line. Did really well to do so, and then he somehow fell to I think it was Fornals, and the shot was put wide. But yeah, those were definitely the highlights of the first half. I thought Salah was particularly poor for Liverpool today. He had far from his best game. In fact, he probably had one of his worst games in a Liverpool shirt, and he's played nearly 250 games for the club now. So yeah, it shows the level he's been at if that's one of his worst games, because it was a bad game, but it wasn't like a horrendous game. He was still very much involved. It was just his touch was a bit off. He was trying to score when passing would be a better option. Like, some of his decision making was terrible. Occasionally he does have a game like that, to be fair though. But the other two, Sadio Mane and Luis Diaz, were brilliant today. Luis Diaz is some player. But my only fear with him is whilst he's played really, really well so far, the goals and assists haven't really started to come just yet. And if he is to be part of this Liverpool front three, that is something that he is going to need to add to his game. He has been doing it in the Portuguese league with Porto. He's playing really well, and he probably was Liverpool's best attacking player today. I'd say Trent was the best player, but bar Trent, he was probably the best player, actually. He takes on players and beats them with relative ease, but he just hasn't got the goals yet. But yeah, hopefully that does come. I think a lot of that's to do with the fact that when he picks up the ball, he likes to pick up the ball a lot deeper than Mane and Salah do. It's just a different style player, isn't he, really? But he has been looking good, and Mane, he seems to sort of reinvented himself in that central role in the front three. He's had a go there in the past few games. He played there against Leeds and in the cup final, and had decent games in both games. He was very much involved, and of course he got the goal again tonight, but some of his link-up play was really good. For West Ham, obviously when you saw the starting 11, you just thought Declan Rice is going to be a big miss here. Because we haven't really seen Thomas Souček play in the Premier League without Declan Rice next to him, so that was going to be interesting to see. He ended up playing almost as part of a midfield three with Lanzini and Pablo Fornals, and obviously they're two attack-minded players, Lanzini and Fornals, so he was going to have to deal with a lot of the defensive responsibilities, and he didn't do too badly, to be fair. I thought West Ham generally were all right today. On another day, they get a draw out of this because they wasted a lot of chances. Jarrod Bowen had a good chance. Lanzini had an easy chance, I thought. He had one good chance, and then straight after he had one where it's like pick your spot, and he picks row H in the crowd. So yeah, that was a massive chance wasted by Lanzini in the second half. There were a couple of defensive errors from Van Dijk and Alisson in the second half that nearly led to chances as well. But thankfully, Robertson and Alexander-Arnold were both on really good form defensively today, as well as attacking. They contribute quite a lot as well. But yeah, on another day, West Ham could have got something out of this 100%. I thought some of a lot of West Ham's goals come from set pieces as well, and some of the corners that were being put in today by either Pablo Fornals or I think Lanzini might have taken a couple as well. They were particularly poor today. Like they weren't really getting on the head of anyone, especially when you have like such big players to aim for in the box like Zuma, Antonio, Dawson, Souček as well. Like it should be putting better corners in, you'd think. Yeah, Salah did get subbed off. He didn't seem too happy about it, but he sort of, when he gets subbed off, he controls himself a lot better than Sadio Mane does. Like when Mane gets subbed off, and he's like, whenever he gets subbed off pretty much, and he's not had his greatest game, he's not happy about it. Whereas Salah, I'm sure he's not happy about it, but he doesn't like throw a strop or anything. So that, yeah, that's a problem Klopp is going to have with like the front five it is now, I suppose, with Shota and Firmino to add to the front three that played tonight. Yeah. In midfield, I thought Keita had a decent game. The problem with Keita is that he can only really run at one pace. So he did do defensively well on one occasion, to be fair, like that could have seen West Ham score. He did get back and stop Antonio from scoring quite well. But yeah, you can't really get control of the game with him in midfield because he hasn't got the pace to play that role. And I know what you're going to say, well, not all midfielders have pace. So there's been some amazing midfielders over the years who don't have like ridiculous amounts of speed. In fact, the majority probably don't. But what they do have is expert positioning, which is something Keita doesn't have. He's a good on-the-ball player. He's a decent dribbler and he can trouble the goalkeeper with a shot occasionally, but off the ball he just can't position himself correctly. It feels like, but yeah, he didn't do too badly today. But yeah, Liverpool got the 3 points, and just need to win every single game. And yeah, today could have been a tricky game, and Liverpool got through it, thankfully. But anyway, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.